very chaotic scenes that we've been hearing. This is exclusive video that we've just received from Kendu Bay. Fred Omulo, our reporter on the ground there, has just returned from there. These are pictures of protests, violent protests, burning of tires, and very angry scenes, very chaotic scenes from Kendu Bay. Let's just listen in. This is footage, of course, because of the protests over irregular elections there. Let's just listen in and see what the protesters are saying. Yeah, the aggrieved candidate there is Adipo Okwome, who was running for Karachuonyo constituency, I believe against immediate former MP James Rege. And the people there claim that there have been massive irregularities. And this is something that we've been speaking about for quite some time here in Kisumu and in different parts of Nyanza, with the various counties that are here, with respect to how the vote was conducted. The use of voter registration cards and identification cards is just one amongst a number of issues that have sort of played into building frustrations in various parts. But we have to say that Homa Bay has been the most violent of all the counties here. There have been running battles and has been violence there for the entire nomination process. Without fail, there has been an incident on violence every single day. Let's just take you back to some of the footage there that we've just received. Again, this is exclusive video that you're seeing on KTN as part of our coverage of the nominations and the controversy surrounding that. The protesters there blocking the road, burning tires, scenes that many Kenyans will be very hard-pressed to forget, considering that a lot of them saw these same images across the country in 2007. And the primary contest here, turning this way, turning this violent, does not augur well for ODM and the Accord coalition. A lot of the protests that we've been hearing about and we've been seeing, especially in Homa Bay, we've got some footage as well from Kisumu just a few minutes ago. It almost seems as if there is a revolt against the party order, or rather the running order, if you will, of ODM here, with respect to alleged meddling in local politics by national politicians. The footage there from Homa Bay again just epitomizes the contest between people who have been in parliament, perceived incumbents, and newcomers, and just plays into the entire issue of the statistics that we've been having. Or rather the entire scene of things that we've been seeing with respect to elections in Kenya, and the very high attrition rate of parliamentarians, very many of them not making it back. But this election itself, this nomination process, will be one that the National Elections Board will have many sleepless nights over. I had been speaking to immediate former Member of Parliament for Nyakach, Mr. Collins Anyango. He's going to file his complaint in Nairobi by about 5 p.m. this evening. He was looking for the returning officer for Nyakach to file his own complaint. His driver was a victim of violence. So there is some sort of pattern there in terms of the kind of frustration that has been building up into violence. The footage that you're seeing on your screen now, on TV right now on KTN, is from Kendu Bay, Karachuonyo constituency in Homa Bay. This happened just a few minutes ago, and the issues are still happening there. We spoke with, or rather James Smart spoke with a former nominated member of parliament, Millie Adhiambo, and she gave her explanation, or rather her side of events, of the violence that's playing out in that part of the region, Nziwa to be specific. She said that some opponents of hers had sponsored violence. We cannot independently confirm that, but that is her allegation. However, though, the violence that we've been seeing is, we can confirm, as a direct result of some of the controversies that we've had with respect to the ballot here. If you remember, viewers, that apart from not just having ballot materials going to the right places in different parts of Nyanza with different counties, there also have been complaints about the voter register. Let's take another listen in and see what this footage has in store for us. That footage, exclusive video from Homa Bay. Very irate responses there, very irate protesters there in Karachuonyo constituency in Homa Bay County. This footage being brought exclusively to you by KTN, and some of the things that they are saying are things that perhaps were almost the unthinkable here in Homa Bay, as well as the different parts of Nyanza with the different counties here. A lot of the protesters there have been saying that they would rather vote for other parties outside of ODM. There they were talking about TNA, but of course now in general other parties outside of ODM, if the electoral process, especially at the primaries, is not respected. This of course is not the first time that ODM or rather politics here has faced this kind of controversy. Especially at primary level, there have been a number of times where incumbents face off against newcomers, challengers, upstarts, and the result is almost always, or rather the result has been in some instances violent, with the belief that the electoral process has been sullied by people who may have strings that they can pull at the national level in terms of the National Elections Board. That of course cannot be confirmed, but anecdotally at least you can draw a line between the primary process in 2007 and what you're seeing on your screens right now. Again, look at the footage that you're seeing on screen. These pictures coming to KTN just a few short minutes ago. Our reporter Fred Omulo has been on the scene. Hundreds of people there in Karachuonyo expressing their anger about the election process coming from, or rather the election process that they believe was marred by mass irregularities, a complaint that we've heard about elsewhere. Now, as we still keep that footage on screen, let's talk a bit about what else is happening. Or first, before we move on, let's just listen in again. Perhaps some of the most unlikely words that you'd hear spoken in this ODM zone, if you call it that. People saying that if the election is not run in a proper manner, then that could affect the race for the presidency. And that of course, the favorite here is Prime Minister Raila Odinga. That has been a complaint across the board with respect to the respect of institutions and the respect of having a proper election down here. A lot of people have alleged that local politics has been interfered with for quite some time at that national level. And of course, the main person that they'd point at, the main person that they'd point fingers at, is the leader, so to speak, of the coalition, the leader of the party, Raila Odinga. Could this hurt his presidential ambitions? We really can't tell for now, but the violence certainly will not help them. Of course, with the institutional memory that Kenyans, especially Kenyans in this region, have of violence, with 2007 being fresh in the minds of many people. This electoral process is something that we've been speaking about, and let's just talk a bit about another county, Siaya County. Aaron Ochieng is there, and a few short minutes ago, Oburu Oginga has finished addressing a press conference with respect to the race for the gubernatorial nomination. No, the nomination to run as a gubernatorial candidate in the March 4th election. What he is saying and what he is challenging is William Odole's statements that he has won in most of the polling stations. Let's just go back to what's happening in Homa Bay and Karachuonyo. And Fred Omulo is telling us now that Ndhiwa is also quite serious right now. The situation there is quite bad. Now, let's just take another look at these pictures to encapsulate what exactly has been the violent situation there. Like we've said, all across, or rather all through the nomination process, Homa Bay has been a hotspot and often a violent one. Take a listen. Indeed, like I've said before, those are things that you would not expect to have heard here in this region, in Nyanza region.